as did WikiLeaks founder and editor Julian Assange. He was interviewed via video stream by former Green Party presidential candidate David Cobb. Julian Assange has been holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy in London for more than 4 years, fearing that if he were to attempt to leave, he would be arrested by British police and ultimately extradited to the United States, where it's believed there's a sealed indictment against him over WikiLeaks' release of documents. David Cobb started by asking Julian Assange about the recent DNC email leaks.
We published 20,000 pristine emails from the DNC, from Debbie Wasserman Schultz, from the communications director Miranda, from the chief financial officer, and so on, and also communications and to the Hillary Clinton campaign and a number of other groups. What they show is not only was there a sort of internal view or discussions about how to undermine Bernie Sanders and support Hillary Clinton. Not surprising, given that Debbie Wasserman Schultz used to work for Hillary Clinton's campaign, but rather there were formal instructions made to DNC staff to execute a campaign of black propaganda against Bernie Sanders. For example, Louis Miranda, the communications chief, instructed his staff to put out in a, quote, unattributable manner allegations that Bernie Sanders supporters were engaged in acts of violence. Similarly, there was discussions to expose, or rather claim, that Bernie Sanders was an atheist and that this would harm him in the South, to use his religious beliefs, or rather his lack of religious beliefs, against him. So then there's aspects to do with how financing was being bounced around between the DNC and the state parties and the Hillary Clinton Victory Fund. To my mind, I think the most ongoing interesting material, which has been picked up now by a wide range of state-based investigative journalists in the US, is the influence peddling structure of the DNC. Who goes to what private conventions at particular people's houses with Barack Obama or with the Vice President, Joseph Biden, and the sort of some of the things that they get into get in exchange, for example, being put on federal government boards and commissions. The third big revelation that comes out, which is, I didn't mention it because as someone who's having to deal with the media all the time, I understand how real this is, but the general public, it is proof of something important, which is the direct connections between the Hillary Clinton faction in the DNC and the president of MSNBC. For example, Debbie Wasserman Schultz called up the president of NBC in order to haul Morning Joe into line because they were speaking about the bias of the DNC. Talking points were constructed for Jake Tapper, for example, on CNN. Of course, we don't know whether he was willing to use them. He has denied that, but at least from the DNC end, they constructed the questions that he was to ask them, even saying, watching coverage live and calling up the networks to say, no, put a stop to that chain of communication right now.